Sara Duterte in the impeachment proceedings. For our listeners, ano po ba itong sinasabi na answer ad cautelam? And why do you think her lawyers chose this approach in the impeachment proceedings? May strategy ba behind?
Ganito lang, no? Hindi ako parte officially sa defense team ni VP Sara. So it might be inappropriate and unethical on my part to give my opinions. But just the same, I believe that the people also have to know what is on my mind, di ba? So, yun lang po. You have to take my opinion as it is. Hindi po ako parte doon sa kanyang defense team. Okay? So, sa trial niyan, kung sana walang trial, ang masasabi ko lang, may rason bakit ginawa yan. Ang tingin ko niyan as a practicing lawyer is ang answer ad cautelam, ang ibig sabihin lamang niya, answer just in case. Mga ganun ba? Answer just in case. Okay? Just in case what? Okay? Just in case you proceed further, or just in case you decide it against me anyway, at least we have an answer. Yung mga ganun. Kasi nga po, kung ako naman on the defense side, I would perhaps tackle the case the same way so that the prosecutors later on would not know as to what are my real defenses once in case this gets to trial. Gets nyo? Kasi kung dito pa lang sa prosecutor's level, dito pa lang sa determination of probable cause level, whether or not there is sufficiency of substance level, no? Akin to a prosecutor's level yan kung sa criminal cases sa aking pananaw. Pero ang grabe lang dito, kaya medyo mapolitika. Sa pananaw ko kasi, kung iratsada mo na lahat ng mga depensa mo dyan, as a practicing lawyer, kaya nga nagmamadali kami kasi may 1:30 hearing pa ako. So, malalaman na nila, mapag-aralan na nila, ganun pala. Ganun pala. Hindi pala talaga kay Sara yun. Kay VP Sara yung property na yun. Binigay lang pala sa kanya para maging abogada, nung pagkabago niyang abogada. Mga ganun. Isa lang yan, ha? Na sinabi ko. So, papag-aralan din nila ngayon. So, pagdating sa trial, medyo marami nang nalaman yung prosecution, mahihirapan na yung defense. No? It's not really a simple case of telling the truth. It's a case of when you tell the entire truth. When the case can be defeated based on certain legalities, such as dito, klaro naman talaga, na wala talagang due process, wala talagang ultimate facts. Nagpadala ako ng letter, doon pa lang sa Committee on Justice, the night before mag-tackle yung Committee on Justice. No? I already questioned the 4 complaints because I argued that the first 2 complaints were really early. No? Kasi in the first original decision that we won in Duterte and Duterte versus House of Representatives and Torreon versus House of Representatives, yung original decision was really clear that whatever impeachment complaints that can be filed should be filed on February 6. Itong dalawa prior to February 6. So doon sa letter ko, I emphasize that they were premature. Pagka kinabukasan, I don't know why they did it, kasi gabi ko yun pinadala yung sulat, they withdrew the second complaint. And it was a tactical move because I also claimed that the third complaint is congenitally infirm. It was void. Why was it void? Because it was endorsed by Representative De Lima. And the second complaint was likewise co-endorsed by Representative De Lima. Of course, they will say, ganito na naman, yung anong 2 views on the matter. Sasabihin nila, there is no prohibition under the 1987 Constitution that a congressman can only endorse once. True to you. But just because there is no express prohibition, it is already enshrined, ingrained. Why? Because an endorsement of an impeachment complaint of a high official of the land is actually a recognition on your part that you agree in whole and in truth the entire allegations of that complaint. So therefore, it is my humble contention that it is a sacrosanct process. How can you endorse wholeheartedly an impeachment complaint and at the same time, oh, by the way, I also endorse this complaint? You cannot do that. You are talking of highest officials of the land, the second highest official of the land, 32 million, and then you say, I wholeheartedly support the complaint, and at the same time, I wholeheartedly also support this complaint. What does that tell you about forum shopping? Okay? So, what does it tell you that an endorsement is actually a sacrosanct act as an elected official likewise of a land? So that is my contention. On the fourth complaint, I also said that this fourth complaint is likewise congenitally infirm. Why do I say that? Because they are mere reiterations of the past complaints. Okay? While it may be true that, Madriaga is an addition, his affidavit was an addition, but that cannot constitute as the declarations. There are not ultimate facts which would qualify the crimes which are actionable or considered as impeachable, such as the grave violation of Constitution and other crimes that are listed in the 1987 Constitution. So, yung nga lang, ang ginawa ng Committee on Justice, nag-decide sila na sufficient in substance. Okay? Pina-answer na nila ngayon si VP Sara. Yung answer nila, answer ad cautelam. Para mapakita ng depensa, sa tingin ko lang, pwede ako magkamali ha. Pwede akong magkamali. Ang babright ng mga lawyers ni VP Sara. So, ang sabi nila, yung ginagawa ninyo ay mali pa rin kasi you violated your due process, yung complaint nila, hindi ninyo in-apply yung standard na inyong ginamit pag-dismiss doon sa kaso against kay Presidente Marcos. May House Committee resolution yun na ano nga ba yung number nun, 311 ata yun, na nakasaad doon, dinismiss ninyo kasi sabi ninyo walang ultimate facts yung mga cases against Presidente Marcos. So, ang sinasabi ng depensa, kung ginamit niyo yan na standard kay Presidente Marcos na complaint, gamitin rin ninyo dito sa standard ni VP Sara. Bakit hindi niyo ginamit? No? What is good for the gander should be good for the goose. Sa amin yan mga abogado. Kung in-apply nyo yan doon kay Presidente Marcos na standard, i-apply din ninyo dito. Anong resulta? Wala ding not sufficient in substance. Yun lang po.
Grabe, di ba? Ang linaw-linaw ng paliwanag.
Sa totoo lang
Oh.
sobrang meron na ang galing ni ni VP Sara yung kinasa ng mga lawyers, yung lawyer niya. Parang pang Harry Potter din yung term. Paano pag hindi ka abogado at wala kang kilalang abogado, tapos nakikinig ka lang, maniniwala ka. So ngayon, pag ginagamitan tayo ng mga ganyang salita, we need to be careful. Di ba? Buti na lang may attorney Torion tayo at attorney Yvette.
Tama yan.
Attorney Yvette, parang kapag papatuloy
he is able to explain it clearly, no, na kayang maabot, no, ng ating mga listeners, sa ating mga viewers. It cannot get any simpler than that, no, na galing sa isang batikang law din. Mantakin nyo, no? Yung authority na nagsasalita sa harap ninyo ngayon ay siya mismo yung nagtuturo ng batas sa kanyang mga estudyante. And so moving forward, Panyero, the public after expects impeachment proceedings to move quickly, hindi ba? Kasi nga, ano nga yung nakalagay sa sa Constitution natin?
Yung
Forthwith.
Forthwith daw.
Yung
Oo,
forthwith na yan.
Oo.
Okay. So the question is, what are the most common misconceptions of Filipinos about how impeachment proceedings actually work under the Constitution?
Ito, sinasabi nila, hala, na-impeach na si Inday, hindi na makadagan usab, hindi na makatakbo uli. Eto ganito ha, iklaro ko talaga sa inyo para kunyari, pareho na medyo matalino na tayo kasi ako hindi ako matalino nag-aaral lang talaga ako So, yung impeachment, kung maabot na yung 1/3 vote po doon sa House of Representatives, i-correct mo lang din ako kung baka mali na rin ako, mama. Si Inday, impeach na. Technically, impeached na siya. Pero hindi pa siya guilty, hindi pa siya pronounced guilty. So, hindi pa rin siya disqualified. Wala pa yung mga consequent, na mga penalties for impeachment. So, merong articles of impeachment yan na gagawin yung yung House of Representatives at ipasa doon sa Senado. Doon sa Senado naman ay magta-trial doon forthwith. Pero kinakailangan may 2/3 vote doon. Kung maabot yung 2/3 vote na 16, hindi yan, maski 23 na lang sila, 20, 16 pa rin ang kailangan yan ha. Hindi yan ma-reduce. Kaya yan din ang problema nila. Maski makaabot sila ng 1/3 vote, which I hope will not happen, okay? Para hindi na tayo masyadong magulo. Ang dami nating problema, wala nga tayong klarong ginagawa para sa mga OFWs doon sa abroad tayo, dagdagan pa natin ito. Ang mahal-mahal na ng gasolina. Ang sa atin dito pinag-uusapan, impeachment Inday. Grabe naman ni Ma'am BP. Sana all. Anyway, yung sa Senado, kung simba ko may 2/3 vote, one of the consequent penalty doon is yun ang hinahangad nila. Ano yung hinahangad nila? Yung perpetual disqualification to hold public